Welcome, everybody, to Wager Talk TV. My name is Ross Benjamin. I'll be discussing Game 2 of the NBA playoffs on Wednesday, June the 12th. I'm recording on Tuesday, June the 11th, so just keep that in mind as the odds and lines and point spreads and totals that I will be discussing today are subject to change depending on when you view this video. So I don't want to think anybody that if you see a line move on Wednesday and I'm recording on Tuesday, you think I'm being misleading. So keep that in mind. Number one, I'm going to be looking at the total in Game 3. And I have a detailed analysis on why I like that total. And again, folks, you have to pay attention to the analysis too, because even though I'm winning at a very high rate on these free pick videos, another winner last night, by the way, on the Baltimore Orioles, you could take a lot away from my analysis in terms of your future handicapping. And like I always like to say, my analysis is not only aimed at trying to tell you why I like the game, but it's also aimed at trying to make you a smarter sports bettor today than you were yesterday. Don't forget to give my videos a like. It goes a long way in keeping these videos at Wager Talk TV free. Number one, goes a long way in making my bosses at Wager Talk TV happy. Number two, and number three, it makes me happy, and I would hope that I've earned your trust and I've earned the right for you to hit that like button because you're appreciative of my time, work, and effort I put into bringing you a quality free pick video each and every day. So hit that like button, folks. And don't forget, Wager Talk TV is our YouTube channel. And you can subscribe for absolutely free if you haven't done so already. Hit that subscribe button right underneath, and that'll get you going as a subscriber on the channel. And just take one additional step further, take you all of 20 seconds to do. Go into your YouTube settings and click on the alert notification bell for Wager Talk TV, and you'll be notified immediately upon any of not only my videos, but all the other great world-class sports betting experts on this channel videos going up on our great channel. Okay, let's get to the meat and potatoes. Again, Game 3, Boston and Dallas on Wednesday evening. Boston winning the first two games of the series and being very impressive in doing so, especially at the defensive end of the floor. They won those first two games, 107-89 and 105-98. Those two totals in those games were 217.5 and 215, easily going under the total. And now the books have adjusted a bit and made this total 212.5 for Game 3, and rightfully so. And again, I'm seeing a lot more over action in terms of volume of bets and money being wagered on the total, leaning heavily toward the over. And I think a lot of people think that, we're due for a high-scoring game here. This can't continue. And that's all fine and dandy, and sometimes there's some validity to that line of thinking. I'm just not down with that thinking when it comes to this particular situation in this particular matchup. I can tell you why. Home teams down 2-0 in the NBA Finals are allowing just 95.7 points per game since 2003. Again, home teams down 2-0 in the NBA Finals are only allowing 95.7 points per game since 2003. So keep that in mind. And it's not like Boston lit it up offensively in the first two games. They scored 107, 105 points. Dallas, by the way, 3-0 to the unders this year, following back-to-back games in which they've scored less than 100 points. So it was only the fourth time all season long that Dallas has scored less than 100 in back-to-back games, and they followed up the previous three times by going under the total. And the average total in those three games in that situation for Dallas, 216, and there was only 195.3 points combined scored per game. Boston, on the other hand, this was a sixth time this year they held opponents to 99 points or less in back-to-back games. And in the following game, in the previous 5 occasions in which that has occurred, they've held their opponents to 101.1 points per game. So again, both teams, whether it be Dallas allowing less or scoring less than 100 in back-to-back games, or Boston um, allowing less than 100 in back-to-back games, both have shown to be low-scoring affairs, or Boston, in Boston's instance, holding opponents to a very low-scoring output. Here's another betting angle. Any NBA playoff team, home team that is, down 2-0 in a series, and they're on their point spread, the home team, plus 2.5 to minus 2.5, the total 203 to 221, 8-0 to the under since 2019. Average total in those 8 games, 216.2, and combined 200 points scored per game, exactly 200 points scored per game on average. So again, folks, these are NBA betting angles that I gave you. And in two of these instances, again, home teams down 2-0 in an NBA Finals series, allowing just 95.7 points per game since 2003. So these teams are playing with plenty of urgency and desperation in Game 3 at home. And a lot of that is displayed on the defensive end of the floor. And again, the other NBA betting angle is any playoff home team down 2-0 in a series. They're plus 2.5 to minus 2.5. Total 203 to 221, 8-0 to the under since 2019. And again, folks, NBA betting angles are different from a betting trend. And still, people who have been betting for years aren't aware of the difference between the two. A trend has to do with a specific team. A betting angle has to do with all teams in a specific situation. So those are some pretty good numbers, and a lot of you will say those don't matter. And I could tell you that, you know what, it's part of my arsenal. It's not solely what I rely on, but there's something to be said when I go 117-70 since 2022 at our site, which is good for close to 63% in the NBA playoffs since 2022. 40-23 this year in the postseason in the NBA at our site, which is 64%. And that's part of my arsenal. I mean, I think that probably there's my strategy is pretty solid. And at the same time, usually those people who mock me for using those types of betting angles, specific betting trends that are pertinent, are people that are not willing to do the work. And they're usually people who overreact to what they saw the game before. Okay, so real important here, we don't overreact in that regard. And this is my pick is going to be Boston and Dallas under 212.5 in Game 3. Don't forget, folks, again, I just gave you my NBA record, okay, NBA postseason record since 2022. And I can tell you, number one in 2022, number one in 2023, and currently number one in 2024 during the NBA postseason, all at Sports Memo. Those records will all be transferred over to Wager Talk because I said after the All-Star break, but it looks more like within the week, I will be on Wager Talk and not on Sports Memo. So just keep that in mind. My current direct link at Sports Memo, sm.buzz/RB. And you can see below, in the text below, great special going on right now. You get a 7-day all-access pass, all sports, anything I release. Right now, it's the NBA, Major League Baseball, a little bit of NHL. All that for just $77. Even you small players could afford that, folks, because that amounts to $11 per day. So I don't want to hear it, Ross, I don't bet that kind of money. Well, we're only asking $77 for 7 days. That's $22 off the normal price, and that amounts to $11 a day. And I gave you the records in the NBA. I had a loser in Major League Baseball last night, but my Major League Baseball has been on a nice roll over the last week and a half or so. I took it on the chin in the NHL yesterday, but you know what, folks? It happens. I had a bad day. That's the thing about me. I'm always transparent. I beat on my chest when I win, but I'll always admit to you when I lose. And I'll tell you what, we haven't done a lot of losing on these on these free pick videos. So just a friendly reminder again to make sure you give me a like. Simple. I appreciate it if you do so. And also don't forget to subscribe to Wager Talk TV just by hitting that subscribe button. I'll be back later today with a Major League Baseball free pick video. Until then, take care and God bless, folks.